Welcome to Born on the Bayou Sports, a Houston sports show made for Houstonians by Houstonians. Join Tim Costello and Scott Barzilla every week as they break down the latest in Houston Astros, Rockets, and Texans news. Tim's a former minor league broadcaster, and Scott has written 2 books on the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, if Javier could get it figured out, it would make things a lot easier because he was that guy everybody was counting on this year to be a Cy Young candidate, take that big step forward and help anchor this rotation with Fromber.
Since he's come to Houston, you can look at the development of guys like Carlos Correa defensively, Jeremy Pena defensively. I mean, you can Alex Bregman's, certainly I think a better than average third baseman.
And now you're putting teams in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9. Now here comes Will Anderson. Pin back your ears, let's go. So if you're Bayou born and bred, or just like spending time in the H, sit down, relax, and stay Houston strong. Welcome all my friends to the show that feels like a New Orleans funeral right now as we parade our way through the baseball season. Scott, how are we doing today?
Well, about the same as yesterday. Although, I mean, last time we looked, it was 2-2. As you know, so are you saying there's a chance?
Still 2-2. I think we're about to head to the bottom of the 7th. But I mean, you have bases loaded, 1 out, and you get a Vasquez fly out, Altuve walk, a good walk, and then Jordan weekly grounds out to second base. So 2 innings in a row, the Astros had bases loaded, and they got a combined 1 run.
Woohoo!
But hey, Scott, you said you have an opening question. Hit us with it.
All right. So Jen and I are going back to the yard on Friday. So my question is, saying money is really no object. What's your go-to on ballpark food?
Oh man, if money's no object, I'm gonna do a little smorgasbord. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna get the souvenir cup refillable soda. Gonna get my bang for my buck and be able to stay quenched throughout all 9 innings of baseball. I'm going to start with a pretzel, maybe a little cheese sauce to dip it in, Scott. Then after that, now that Whataburger's in the ballpark, I'm going to go with a double Whataburger with cheese and French fries. And then for dessert, something cinnamony. If they got like a ballpark churro would be fantastic. Something, maybe some Sour Patch Kids, some M&Ms if I have to. But you got to end it with something sweet.
So we've gone to 3 games this year, Tim, and I'm going to sit there. I'm going to say this. We have not had a bad meal at Minute Maid Park yet. Dyken Park. Oops. First night we went it was a Friday during Lent, so we had to go with some Mexican, some non-meat Mexican. I went with some of the loaded fries. Those were pretty damn good. Next time out, we went to, I don't know if you've ever been to, it's the wings place. Was it Ruffle? Oh shoot, Ruggles or something like that. We got some wings, and then last time they have a pretty good barbecue. They had a two meat barbecue plate too.
They have like specialties too. Like every year they release like special menus. One year they had like Irish nachos. And it was like barbecue on waffle fries with cheese and stuff like that. But they still do it. Like it's like special sections. They have like their featured dishes. I'd recommend looking into that, man. They had some bangers.
But the barbecue, I had some brisket, which I didn't need to put sauce on that sucker. It was pretty damn good brisket. Sausage, got some potato salad and coleslaw, all for about $25.
Which, crazy enough as that is, Scott, that's now a pretty affordable. That's now a pretty affordable barbecue plate. Like you look at some of the fancy barbecue places. Hutchins is one up here that people go crazy for. You'll spend like $85 for like 2 or 3 slices of brisket, a sausage, and some sides. It's like $80. What?
Oh, I still love Cooper's. Cooper's is my favorite stop. They've got one in Katy. Um, had some in the Hill Country.
Good
That's where we
company.
discovered it.
Good company's where it's at, man. When you're in
Uh,
Houston,
but yeah, good stuff. Yeah, but $25 for a 2 meat barbecue plate is not bad.
is that like how much you think that double patty burger I want is at Whataburger?
Oh, I looked.
That's probably 25.
I looked, Tim. It actually didn't 25. It's probably they have a single, double, and triple. That's the only thing they'll sell. So I think the triple is like $20, and
Okay.
the double is like maybe 15. But then you got to throw in like your beer and whatnot. We usually go separate on the beer. We don't get the beer at the food place. We usually go to the St. Arnold's stand
Mm-hmm.
and get ourselves our beer there. Unfortunately, I love the idea of the refillable soda, but unfortunately, that's not in the cards for me.
Can't
For
go
obvious-
Diet Coke?
I'm just not a diet. I don't like diet.
That's fair. I like the bubbles. I got to have the bubbles. And I love hanging out on that St. Arnold's patio. Like it's the smoking section, but I vape out there, hang out there, find ways to get myself hungrier again if I've got no budget to get myself ready for that next round of food. But I've spent many an Astros game hanging out on that little patio right outside the St. Andrews bar, man.
And that's pretty close to our seats. Our seats are right there, like right by those escalators. Section 108.
Are you in like where Keuchel's Corner used to be?
No, wasn't Keuchel's Corner in the upper deck?
No, it was like first row, like down the left field line.
No, we're so if you go like to the right where the overhang comes over, we're right under that overhang. So
it's right around where it was, man.
And it's really great to get to, to climb stairs. You only go down.
There's an entrance right there. There's a ballpark entrance right there too.
Yeah.
You walk right in.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 rows. You go down. That's pretty good. It's and the food on that level is probably better than the food at just about anywhere else in the park.
I think the specialty food's not too far from there as well. If you want to look into what section has their featured items, I really recommend cruising by there, man. I've seen Blummer and Julia eat it on air, and it looked pretty good.
All right. Eventually, though, Tim, we have to actually talk about what's going on the field.
I mean, we could keep talking about what Airmark is slopping out, Scott. Have you tried the Sprite mix over at the Union Station Diner? It's really bubbly this year.
Well, like I said, I can't do the soda, so.
But I think the question that we need to be asking right now is, do we believe Dana Brown? Because Dana Brown is trying to sell us the way that Drayton McClain used to sell us, Scott, on I signed Carlos Lee, the championship window is open. And Dana Brown is putting the sell job of, hey, we've got Ronel Blanco coming back. We've got Wesnecki coming back. We've got Pena. We've got Brown. We've got all these guys coming back. We're not out of it yet. But I don't want to be out of it. I don't want to be pessimistic. But, Scott, can we believe Dana Brown?
Well, we may not have Pena coming back, at least not as quickly as we thought, because it looked like he got hurt with that little thing.
I don't think they've announced anything official yet, but he definitely got upended on a minor leaguer breaking up a double play last night.
I mean, that's kind of like the old Brendan Rodgers routine. What did he broke? What did he break last year? It was like his jaw or something, or
yeah, it was. We were making fun of him, and then it was like really, really serious. Like he got a foul ball off the face or something like that. And we were like, okay, we're kind of assholes. But no, it was like some guy trying to make his way to the major leagues, hustling hard, breaks up a double play, and Pena went head over heels. They haven't announced anything specific, so we don't know if the timetable's pushed back or not. But
I've never really quite gotten that expression. You and I are Tears for Fears fans, so I love a good head over heels is one of my favorite Tears for Fears songs. But wouldn't it be heels over head?
Yeah. Now that you point it out, It doesn't make a lot of sense. I definitely will give you that there. That one doesn't make a lot of sense. But hey, Myers, set to start his rehab this week.
He did. He went over. He went over 4, but
So
played a
he's
whole
ready.
game.
He's ready.
He
He's ready.
played a whole game. Yeah. Okay. So we got to start that right off the bat here, Tim. You and I have been texting back and forth. It's been the talk of the town. I think every sports jock is just absolutely killing Dana Brown over this. I'm assuming it's Dana Brown's call. Maybe it's Joe 1 inning too long, Espada. That's his new nickname, by the way. But in what universe did you think Amai was ready?
In what universe? What
did you think Amai was ready?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, he looked good in the spring, right? Like
Yeah.
he looked like, okay, this is a guy I can't wait to watch pitch.
Oh no, I'm just talking about this particular game.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean,
and then to back it up and say, nah, his next start will be in the major leagues again, right? Like, I get that we're low on arms, but if you want to sell me that we're not out of it yet, you can't do this with Amai, right? Like, if we're out of it, okay, let Amai work through it and figure out how to pitch in the major leagues. If we're not out of it yet, then his ass needs to be in fucking Sugarland trying to figure this thing out until he can come up and help.
Well, what kills me, Tim, is that so he went 2 innings in his first outing in the minor leagues. He goes 3 innings in Sugarland. His first 3 innings, I mean, he gave up the 2-run bomb, but we're not terrible innings. I mean, 2 runs in 3 innings is a 6 ERA. I mean, that's, you don't want that. But if you would have sat there and said, we're going to pull Amai after 3 innings and he gives up 2 runs, you'd be like, okay. I mean, that's, I saw some good things. But again, Joe Espada, leave a guy out there 1 inning too long. I mean,
walk, hit by pitch, grand slam.
I mean, that's, it's pretty definitive. And then he finishes the 4th, but I don't, I get it out of spring training. Yeah, everybody's hoping, sure. But, I mean, we're in a Hideki Arabu country here.
Say that again?
So we're in Hideki Arabu country here.
Yeah, I mean, it's mind-boggling because the stuff looks good. Like there's the pitches don't look terrible. He just can't find the zone at times. Like you remember early on in his career, Fromber would just lose the zone.
Yeah,
and same for Wandy had the same issues. McCullers had this. Guys would be cruising, and the next can't throw a fucking strike. And Amai seems to me to just be the worst fucking version of that. To where when most guys start to settle in, like after the first inning, you're like, okay, I've got this. He's the opposite. Like he gets through 3 and you're like, okay, we could take a deep breath. He's like, not yet, son. Don't fucking take that breath yet. Let me hit 2 fucking guys. It was actually 2 hit by pitch and then a walk. Yeah. I got it backwards. So let me beam 2 fucking guys, then walk a guy. Then I'm going to throw one. It literally was like Rick fucking Vaughn, right? Where he just walks everybody, then grooves a strike.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I said to Haywood. And then, game 1, throwing, 12 straight balls and then right down Main Street. Yeah. And then I love that it beams the next guy. And, Lou Brown, I think you can go get him.
I think you can go get him now. But yeah, I want to see how he reacts.
Let's see how he reacts.
But it's
my take is, and I got an article running tomorrow. Because I got another bone to pick with Espada. This has no bearing on the game itself, and this is part of the problem, right? Blue ball gives you a clean 8th, right?
Right.
Pull him. He's done. He needs to be. If you have designs on him being a setup guy of the future, you need to work him as a setup guy. You need to work him as a 7th or 8th inning guy. But Joe, 1 inning too long, Espada throws him back out there for the 9th. to finish the game. Because why? Because I want to preserve my pen for what? For, okay. You got LMJ going the next day. I mean, luckily for him, he goes 5 1/3. If you would have told me he was going to go 5 1/3, I'd have been like, holy shit. I mean, at this point, where you need to be going is you need to be looking at each of your players individually and you say, well, what do we think of this guy in the future? And I think there's probably on a 26-man roster, there's probably 10 or 15 guys that might have a role beyond this season. And the rest of them are crash test dummies. And so to me, what you do is you take your 10 or 15 guys and you say, what do we want out of you and what is the best way to get it? And I could honestly give a shit if that equals wins and losses at this point. So for instance, I mean, do we want Zach Cole going against lefties? Maybe, maybe not. Do we foresee him as a platoon guy? Maybe. Do you see maybe Zach DeCenzo as maybe the lefty side of the righty side of that platoon? Maybe. Do we want to see if Bryce Matthews can stick in center field? I mean, defensively, he seems to be able to. But you got to start looking at guys that way. And so that with guys like Blue Baw, the hell with getting through a game. Blue Baw needs confidence. Blue Baw needs success. When he goes out there and throws a clean 8th, you say, thank you, give me the damn ball. I'm going to find somebody else to finish this thing. Even if it's a damn position player, because you're down fucking 8-2. Who gives a shit?
Scott, when I first started playing golf, my private lesson coach kind of had a thought process of when you got down that last 4 or 5 golf balls, when you hit a great shot, we're done. We're ending on a good one. We're not going to risk with only 2 balls left hitting 2 bad shots and leaving with a bad taste in your mouth. And that is what Espada is so guilty of. And we've talked about his bullpen uses before. We've talked about the need to try and get an extra inning. But so often he doesn't leave his relievers with a good taste in their mouth. These guys are leaving games, going home, showering, pissed off because they've been asked to go a second inning. They've exerted to get through the inning clean, the adrenaline rush that happens, and then you go back out there, and oftentimes it's not as good. And you could go the stats with the Espada, and again, I get it. You've got some starters that didn't go deep into games for a large portion of this year, and that does tax the bullpen. I get it. But what also taxes the bullpen is like 8-run innings, right? Like that's going to tax that bullpen too. So let some guys leave games with confidence and let's see what happens. Let's see if you can get some fucking positive momentum going. Let's see if we can fix Brian Abreu. Let's see if O'Kurt can step up because you stopped running him out there for multiple innings. Let's see if Brian King can be effective again because he's not coming back out for a second inning after he gets you out of a jam. Use guys the way they're supposed to be used and stop trying to outthink everybody. Like Joe Espada, to me, constantly seems like he's managing for his job and he's trying to show he's the smartest guy in the room. He's the best fit for the job. And I wonder if having Omar Lopez on his bench is almost like he feels it looking over him and he feels the need to show, no, I'm still the guy.
Well, and to me, you got to identify, and that's where I said you probably got 10 to 15 guys you want to keep. You got to identify the Boltons of the world where you're like, if I use this guy up for 2 or 3 innings, who gives a shit? He doesn't have a future on this team, so I'm going to use. So you got guys, and so you have guys like that. I mean, I think, do you see Jaden Murray as a future,
I don't know. He's another guy, Scott, that I think's been used horribly.
Well, no, they've all been used horribly. That's kind of the whole point. But my point is that it doesn't matter if they don't matter. But if he does matter, then he needs to be used right.
I think he's got good stuff, right? Like I'd like to see I'd like to see him used right. I'd like to see Shoemake get some run. You and I have texted about the idea of cutting Nick Allen and keeping Shoemake as that super utility guy. I think he's much better baseball player. I think he plays the field better. I think he's a better offensive player. I think he gives you more positional versatility.
I think Allen's a better defender. I think statistics would clearly indicate Allen's better. Allen is a Gold Glove level defender. He is a Mark Belanger level hitter. And that's, and if you want to look that up, you feel free. But I think you're right, though. Overall, he's a better player, and he's got the positional flexibility. I mean, I think Allen can play all the positions as well, but you need offense. You can't have a guy that's going to hit 200 and slug 200. That's just not, I mean, what are we doing? I think, I don't know. I had this idea, Tim, and let me see. Do you think, would this be overly cruel?
Cool or cruel?
Cruel. Okay. Jim Crane invites Joe Espada's parents and then goes down to the clubhouse and gives them the axe in front of mom and dad. Is that overly cruel?
A little bit, yeah.
You know where I was getting at, right?
The Cam Smith thing. That's kind of the opposite of what Cam Smith got. I'd be like, hey, well, mom got to tell you you're making the team. Mom's going to tell you you're getting set fucking down too. Mama Smith, why don't you go ahead and let him know that his 198 batting average just isn't cutting it.
Well, he's hitting 160 over the last, was it like 30 days or something like that? 30 games. So
Altuve.
I'll see what something's happening. But
take the lead.
Yeah, I don't know. So here's the ultimate question, Tim. Two-parter. When do we make the call on Espada? When do you think the call's made on Espada?
I don't know. I really don't, because he does the one thing he has in his back pocket that he can argue is like, I haven't had a healthy team in 2 years. He can say that, right? And I think Dana Brown gives him that benefit of the doubt because they're tied together so much. And I think he very publicly likes to talk about the fact that Espada has been dealt a really, really tough hand, because it makes him look better too, right? I don't think Brown's going to be the one to fire Joe Espada. Do you? Like, to me, that's Jim Crane, and they're both out the door at the same time.
Yeah, and my question, of course, with Brown, do you feel comfortable, if you're Jim Crane, with whoever is number 2 in command to get you through the year?
I mean,
because that's the draft.
You would have to, yeah.
That's the draft. That's the deadline, which is August 3rd this year. And that's, deciding, because we talked about, let's assume Pena's healthy. You and I said, yeah, we should look for offers for Pena if you're not going to re-sign him. Obviously, Christian Walker is a guy that, he's got a limited no trade clause, which is going to kind of hurt his value a little bit. But he's a guy hit number 10, home run number 10 tonight, right? I mean, how many teams would want that kind of a first base, clout down the stretch? Teams are always looking for relief pitching, even if it's not closers at the deadline. Could Brian Abreu be pitching well enough to get something for? Could you trade?
Hader?
Well, I mean, that's
like,
another
if
question.
The New York Yankees come calling for a reliever and say, we want Hader, we'll pick up the entire salary and we'll give you an okay prospect, but we'll pick up everything. Is it worth it to get his money off the books, knowing that we've got a lot of work to do? Do we really need a top 5 closer?
I think you have to consider it, and then that turns into that question of who do you want making that call?
Jeff Bagwell.
With Craig Biggio. Oh, I heard the best rumor today. And actually, well, this is the part of this is fact, but the other part is rumor conjecture. Did you know that Dana Brown was a college teammate of Craig Biggio's?
I did not.
And I'll let you fill in the blanks from there.
Is that why he here? Like, you're saying that's why he's here?
That's the rumor that Biggio pushed for him.
I mean, he might have, but also let's not forget why Dana Brown was brought in. Okay,
Yeah.
because he had a history of building up a very talented young Braves team that had won a World Series, beat the fucking Astros. Right? He had developed guys. He had a strong minor league system that was churning out arms, that was churning out position players. He had shown the ability to lock guys up long-term young, right? Like the Braves had signed Ozzie Albies very, very young. They signed Acuna young. And it looked like this was a guy who could maybe help the Astros take advantage of all this young talent they have and lock it up early.
But see,
he's failed at that.
I'd push back on that and say that was Alex Anthopoulos.
But what we were told was that Dana Brown was a big part of that.
We were told, right? And, you know, when you're the number 2 guy in charge, you're always going to play up your role in that, right? In the interview process. I was in the room when
Maxie was the one who came up with the offer. Alex presented it, but, you know, if you go back, I was the one who said 4 years, 28 mil. It was really all me who did the math on that.
I feel badly, like Espada's getting roasted on this, you know, the chat group that I'm with. I mean, to me, he seems like a good guy. It seems like a guy I'd want to drink a beer with.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably has some good stories.
Yeah. I think he's a good bench coach, terrible manager. He seems like a vibes guy. He seems like he could really, you know, like there's every now and then you got like a coach who says something, and then like the assistant coach will echo like one word in the background and be like, "We need to get out there and play better defense." Yeah, defense. And then, and then when you're don't chase, guys, don't chase. That's what Espada seems to have been best at. He's
American Pie, where the guy's like, culmination.
Yes, exactly. He's a good echoer.
You know who he reminds me of, actually? He's Brad Mills to me. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's fair. I mean,
Brad Mills traveled around, was a good bench coach for years.
I think Mills didn't have the same, like, Espada's had good talent.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that's obvious. But I'm saying just being basically kind of a blah guy. Just kind of ineffectual, you know.
So you bring up Brad Mills, that was it for Mills, right? Like, he never got another major league opportunity after that. Do you see a world where Espada's let go and another team brings him in for an interview and he's able to explain it all away as, you know what, that team was just injured. I didn't get to do what I wanted to do because the injuries overcame us. And because he was the Astros manager at the time that he was, he can talk that away, right? Like, do you see that happening, or do you see him taking more of the Brad Mills path of when he flames out of here, that's going to be it?
Well, the best way I heard this put is somebody said, okay, forget about the reasons to fire him. What would be the reasons to hire him be?
Knowing what you know now, I don't know, right? Like, here's another thing that drives me crazy. We use a different starting lineup every game. We literally have not run the same one out there twice. That's not like, that's a classic. You're overthinking this.
Oh yeah.
No, we were told he's a guy who can mix together the baseball mentality with the data. Dusty Baker was too old school, didn't use the analytics. Hinch was too analytical. Espada's supposed to be the guy in between, right? This guy's fucking floundering. You don't run different lineups out there every single day when you're feeling good about your job. When you're feeling good, you fucking pencil. You think Joe Torre, when he had the fucking lineups that he had with the Yankee was like, I need to switch it up a little bit. Let's go back to this. Let's move Darryl Strawberry to the 7th. Let's move Bernie Williams to the 2-hole. Derek Jeter to the 4-hole today. And A-Rod leading off. All right.
Jorge Posada leading off.
Jorge Posada leading off. Okay. That didn't work. Tomorrow, we're going to have Bernie Williams lead off. And then we're going to have Chuck Knobloch. We're going to have Chuck Knobloch. Chuck Knobloch will lead off. It's just like,
but,
does this guy get any sleep? Like, it's almost, and I'm not, this is the only way I'll compare him to him, but it's almost like how Trump just wakes up and tweets outrageous shit in the middle of the night. I think like Joe Espada, like, wakes up and he's like, Correa should be leading off. Oh my God, why didn't I see it before? Oh my God, that's the one. Oh, that's it. Like,
could you imagine him in the 6th inning just sitting there? Joe? You okay, Joe?
His wife rolls over and like rolls her hand on the bed. He's not there again. And she just sees him in the kitchen. He's got like just 15 Rawlings lineup cards just like scratched out, like the thermal paper where there's 3 copies of it. He's got it written out for like the next 17 games. Every one of them just swaps little, but he's got like the red line, the red string, like it's like a conspiracy theory going. It's like all over the place, and he's just fucking losing it.
And then you got Omar Lopez. Stop texting me at 4:30 in the morning, damn it. I don't even know the lineup.
Coming into work the next day. Joe, can we have a talk about boundaries, please? I actually didn't wake up, but my wife's a real light sleeper, and now she's pissed at you, and you don't want Mrs. Lopez up in your shit.
But
she comes in and throws her chancla at him.
That's my thing. As I think, like, he's the guy, the maniacal, like, assistant that's doing all this work and going like, hey boss, I did this. I did a 50-page report for you about why Carlos Correa should be leading off. Here you go, boss. And then, the manager can just take it and go like, thanks. And then, just toss it aside. But he's that guy. I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's not going to get a job right away. At least he will need to convince people. Here's what I've learned from this experience.
I think the American Association would welcome him with open arms. Cleburne Railroaders would probably love to have Joe Espada as their manager. I think that's about it.
I think he'll get a bench job somewhere. I mean,
I don't think it'd be right away. I think he'd have to take a couple of years off.
But I think he'll, he's a good assistant coach. And then I think, unfortunately, what you're looking at is the desire to get another experienced manager in here. And I think that's kind of unfortunate for Omar Lopez. And that's why I want to see it done sooner rather than later, because I really want to see what Omar Lopez has. Because his best shot at being the manager here is you give him the reins now, and maybe he finishes with a 500 record. And you're just like, damn, that was much better than what we were doing under Joe. Let's give this guy a shot.
Yeah, I think June 1st is a pretty hard deadline for me. And it's not a record. It's not if this gets better. It's just if this team doesn't look at least competitive on June 1st, does it look like it could make a run to get to 85 wins? Because the way things are set up right now, Scott, 85 wins might get you one of the 3 wild card spots.
Yeah, that's what I put in my article that ran today. I think 85 is my target.
If on June 1st, I don't care about the record. I don't care. We could make a move. We could make a run. If you think that Joe Espada, with everything you have in place on June 1st, is the guy to guide you to that run, okay. If you think he's not, I want to see what Omar Lopez could do. Because I don't believe if Joe Espada manages this whole season, we're going to make the playoffs, period. I don't care who comes back. I don't care, whatever. I don't think we've managed the bullpen well since Dusty Baker left, right? Like Hader's first year here, we constantly overused him incorrectly. His second year here, we bring him out for second innings all the time, and he gets hurt, and he still hasn't been back since he got hurt last year. So no part of Espada's bullpen management has been good. And it's crazy. We fucking railed on Dusty when he was here. We railed on Dusty. but I think we ran him out of town too soon. Like we did not give that man his fucking flowers. We did not give James Click his flowers, because those guys did such a tremendous job. Dusty was so good with the bullpen. Did you ever feel like Dusty mismanaged? Did he zero in on a few guys too often? Yeah, but those guys got fucking outs. And at the end of the day, I never felt like, why is Dusty bringing this guy out here right now? I may have felt, this guy's been used a lot, but I never felt like, why is he running him back out there again? But every time Hader got brought out for the 8th inning and then to finish the 9th, or to pitch the 9th in a scoreless game, get a lead in the 10th, and then try and close it in the 10th. Like, every time we did that, it never made sense to me.
Well, what I'll say is, I think Dusty Baker did two things that were bad in my opinion. And I think, unfortunately, 2025 and 2026 is coloring our view of 2023. And that is, he didn't play Yainer Diaz enough. He didn't play Chas McCormick enough. And the thing is that Chas McCormick, I don't even think he's in the major leagues now, is he? Did he make the Cubs?
No, he's in their minor league system. And
Yainer is on the shelf and probably is not going to be a starting catcher after this season.
But that
doesn't mean 2023 is the way.
Doesn't that justify his? He said at that time, Yainer's not ready. Pitchers didn't like throwing to Yainer. I asked you to look up the numbers of Yainer starts behind the plate and Vasquez's starts behind the plate. Vasquez's numbers are better for the pitchers. They're not a ton better.
But see, here's what I did, Tim. I did an article on it, and I looked up the 2023 numbers as well. And he had fewer runs per game than Maldonado. And he had a better record as a catcher than Maldonado. So what happens in 2026 is not necessarily the same thing that happens in 2023, which is kind of my point, is that, and that was the only thing I had. But see, what I loved about Dusty and what was wise about him is that his bullpen shrank in the playoffs. Is that he sat there and said, these are my 3 dudes or my 4 dudes, and I'm not going beyond these 4 dudes. And that meant that, who was the guy?
Ryan Stanek.
Ryan Stanek didn't get to pitch. And we were at the time, everybody's like, wow, this guy was pretty good this year. But the thing is, Ryan Stanek was a 2-carton relief pitcher. He was a guy, you're like, he was like watching Craig Kimbrell at times. And it's like, damn, guy, just throw strikes.
He lived very dangerously, right? He had an electric fastball and ice slider and put a lot of guys on base. And the playoffs, you cannot put guys on base. And Dusty Baker did a great job of managing that bullpen in the playoffs. He did a great job of going to guys who don't walk, who don't put those extra base runners on. I do think you're right. Maybe there's some rose-colored glasses, because we were pissed at the time of why isn't McCormick getting more run? But again, he had such a drop off in 2024 that you're right. Like, if we exposed him more, would the drop off have come faster? Was he good because he had limited run? The moment he got full run, it was over.
Maybe, but I think the key thing, and this is where my criticism of Dusty is that every season kind of exists on its own universe. The whole Jeff Bagwell back of the baseball card bullshit is exactly what I said. It's bullshit. Every season exists on its own, and we're getting pretty damn close to Memorial Day. And Memorial Day is kind of my cutoff point. It's like, that's the point where he's like, guys, it's not fucking early anymore. And this is especially true when you start playing in March. We used to start in April. Now we're starting in March. You're going to be, damn near 50 games in by Memorial Day. Season's not early anymore.
Yeah.
And so you have a good idea now.
And part of that good idea is a collective toll, right? Like the way this team was, Correa's not coming back.
No.
And he was having one of the best years of the last 5 years.
But you have a guy, you have guys like, I would say, Tang. Tang is a guy that you need to desperately sit there and say, how do we want to use this guy? what's his role? And you put him in that role, and that's his role. You don't do this Scott Ellerton yo-yo between the rotation and bullpen bullshit. You sit there and say, this guy is our seventh inning guy, or this guy's a starter. Whichever one it is, I don't particularly care at this point, but I want you to pick one. And I want you to stick with it. And I want you to pitch him in that role. And if that means he only goes an inning, well, shit, it only goes an inning. But now you got Tang, you got Bluebaugh who can go an inning. You've got Okert, you've got King, you got Hader coming back. You've got Abreu who may find it again. And so eventually you figure it out, right? And this is where Memorial Day comes, and your bullpen's starting to take shape if you follow what's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating reality right now. But also we've been spoiled, Scott. Like we don't have a positive fan base. We're a very negative fan base. And I think a lot of Astros fans, as much as they've enjoyed this run, they've almost been waiting for this other shoe to drop, right? Like unbroken glass, when was it gonna happen? And it looked like 2024 when they got off to this bad start. That was a miraculous run, but you get bounced almost immediately in the playoffs. Then last year, the injuries take its toll. You nearly find a way, but you just can't put anything together. I don't know. To me, the constant in all that is Joe Espada. I understand he's been dealt a tough hand. I understand all that. But everything we've talked about with his bullpen usage, everything we've talked about with his inability to just settle on a lineup, he seems like a guy who he needs that one person above him to tell him yes on this, no on this, yes on this, no on that, right? And unfortunately, that's just not a great personality type to manage a Major League Baseball team.
Absolutely. All right, Tim.
Give some awards away, Scott.
Let's give some awards away. Although I'm kind of watching its bases loaded.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on it as well. But who do you want to go pow right in the kiss or two this week?
Let me make sure, check my notes. Checks notes. All right. So I am punching once again. I did it before. I'm going to do it again. Chandler Rome. You get punched in the face yet again because you just got a punchable face, Tom. This is so punchable. But, on if you want a good thing, he interacts with fans on social media. But on the other hand, he's basically a troll where he's like, bringing in, the Texans, talking about how great CJ Stroud is as a kind of like, you see, or, the Rockets, talking about how, oh, yeah, KD's the answer. Guys, see me needling you there. You're a beat reporter, dude. You're a beat reporter. Report the news. Tim and I, we get to have a little bit of fun. We're in the commentary game, but I guess. Oh yeah, I see what you did there. I'm sorry. You got to punch him.
I tend to agree with you on that. It's such a world. It's a tough world we live in today, Scott, where the beat reporter has his own podcast, right? Like he's going to have access that nobody else has because he's the beat reporter. And because he has that access, he's going to form an opinion on things. But again, that line is crossed, right? Like you have a podcast to discuss all these things, but also you're supposed to be the guy who's getting us clean information. Well, now what happens when your opinion pisses off a source? Now what happens when people don't want to talk to you because you're running your fucking mouth on your podcast instead of just writing it up, right? And I think it's a dangerous line to cross in the sports world because guys are humans with egos, with like they don't want to be fucking talked poorly about. They don't want to listen to Chandler Rome trash them. This is the guy that I give a quote to. Fuck him. I'm not giving him a quote anymore. So yeah, I tend to agree with you on that, Scott.
All right, who you got, Tim?
This one's a kind of tongue-in-cheek one, but Scott, one of my biggest pet peeves on the golf course is jeans. To me, there is no excuse to wear jeans on the golf course. Number one, there's better material. Fucking golf pants are a breathable, wonderful fabric. Jeans in Texas or California and a lot of these places, they're not comfortable. Number two, respect the fucking game, respect the course. Number three, if you've got money to go golfing, you've got money to buy one pair of golf pants or golf shorts that you can wear. Put a fucking polo on, respect the course, respect the game, right? So for that reason, I want to punch LeBron James in the face, right in the kisser. Okay, I understand you're new, you're enjoying it, you're out at a muni, you're out there in jeans and a fucking t-shirt, LeBron. Money is not an object to you. You could fucking stop at a TJ Maxx on the way to the course and pick up a polo and belt and a pair of golf shorts, and you can get out there. But what you don't need to do is play in jeans and a t-shirt. I hate that fucking shit. I hate it so much. There's a guy at our course who plays every fucking week in jeans and a fishing shirt or jeans and a Cowboys jersey during football season. And I don't respect you at that point. If you can't respect the game and respect the course enough to put fucking proper golf attire on. It's the only thing I'm antiquated about with golf. You want to use a speaker? I don't give a fuck. You want to smoke weed on the course? I don't give a fuck. You want to drive your golf course all over the place? I don't give a fuck. You want to hit out of order? I don't give a fuck. Don't wear jeans. That is my thing.
All right, two things on that, Tim. Is there an age limit on that?
No.
Because
jeans are never okay.
Unfortunately, my dad wears jeans on the course all the time.
I hate it. I hate it.
No, my favorite though was this guy. I used to marshal out at Sasha Harbor because you get free golf out there back then. Back then, and there was this guy that was a lawyer in town, biggest asshole I think I've ever seen in my life, and he was always wearing cargo shorts, and he'd look good from here, and then the cargo shorts. I mean, and so I kind of pictured him in the courtroom, and the judge like, "Would you like to approach the bench?" "Nah, Judge, I'm good from here. I got cargo shorts on. I'm wearing a suit top, but I got the cargo shorts underneath." No, unfortunately, Dad doesn't. This is mainly in the winter. He's wearing the jeans.
There are fleece-lined pants that are very comfortable. I
do not wear the jeans. I usually, like, if I'm playing in the winter, I'll usually wear like some of those, like the kind of like the athletic kind of pants. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wear those because they'll have the lining, to keep you a little bit warmer. But obviously, I'm going shorts in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Scott. I really am not a traditionalist in a lot of things. When I see jeans on the golf course, I see t-shirts on the golf course.
Okay. If you're driving your car on the green, that's kind of where I draw the line.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, but like, I don't care if you drive inside the red stakes. Like, my dad's got yelled at a couple times for being a violator for that.
Maybe no tee box, no green.
Country club rules.
No bunkers. All right.
Yeah. All right, Scott. Who is your horse's ass?
This is the original intent of the award. I'm going with our Joe. 1 inning too long, Espada. So it looked like King got through the ninth, giving up only the 1 run, throwing 30-plus pitches. So that means that Brian King is not available to you tomorrow. Thank goodness. I think at this point it would be an act of mercy. That's where I'm at. And, I'm not expecting, like, have you seen what's going on with the Phillies?
They're a mess.
But they fired their manager, Thompson.
They did,
brought in Don Mattingly, and they're back in second place. Now, a distant second place. But second place in the NL East. And I think he's well above 500. I'm not expecting that, honestly. There's too many systemic issues on this team. I think we laid out what we would like to see. We would like to see some guys get some consistent run, get consistent spots in the order, leave them alone, and do that sort of thing. But I don't think you're going to be suddenly going to win 85 games this year. I just don't see that in the cards. But I want to see what Omar Lopez has. He's one of the guys that you got to see. Does he have a future as a manager? I mean, you need to see that. And there's 10 or 15 guys on this roster that I think you need to see what they got. Put them in a role and let's see it. You know, to me, how good it would be for an AJ Blueball to sit there and say, you have the 7th. That's your inning. I mean, think about what that does for a guy's routine. I mean, think about, you know, if you got Tang, you got the 6th inning, or you have the 8th inning. Think about what that does for a guy's routine when he knows that, you know, if I'm playing tonight, this is when they're going to play me. I mean, to me, that we don't have enough of that right now.
We don't have any of that. We don't have a single person who knows on a consistent basis where they're hitting in the lineup, where they're pitching in the game.
Jordan's hitting second. Okay,
that's fair.
He may be playing left field or DH. You didn't know that.
I mean, it would be a mercy killing. I do tend to agree with you. And one of the things we talked about before was, like, you and I were both on board for Espada.
Sure.
And the one thing that we didn't know going into this was how would he manage a bullpen? Because I think that's something no one knows about any rookie manager before you see it live and in person. And Omar Lopez is a perfect chance to see how would Omar Lopez handle a bullpen. You can't be worse than Espada has been this year. So worst case scenario is we still suck, because we suck right now. We fucking suck right now. So the worst case scenario would be you fire Joe Espada, you go to Omar Lopez, and nothing changes. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is you found your manager of the future. He gets a little chance to learn on the fly, handles the bullpen wonderfully. Team responds to him. You sneak into a wild card spot, and now you can start rebuilding for next year instead of breaking it down and starting over. Anything in between, okay. But right now, if you don't fire Espada, this team's headed for dead last. This team's going to lose 100 games with Espada at the helm.
The Angels just fell off their couch.
I think the Angels are a better baseball team than us right now, Scott. Mike Trout is healthy. When Mike Trout is healthy, they're better than us.
How long is that going to last?
All right, Scott. That's a good horse's ass. Definitely wouldn't mind him getting out of town. I'd like Nick Allen gone. Horse's ass this week is Nick Allen. Hasn't done anything in particular. He's just not very good. I get he's a good defensive player. So was Aldamus Diaz when he got here. And Aldi never figured that shit out, right? Like, you had Marwin, and then you had Doobie, and then in between you had the fucking Aldi time. And Aldi just wasn't it. Aldi struck out all the time. Played a nice defense, played all over the field. That was great. But he just couldn't fucking hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat. So, to me, bye-bye Nick Allen. Please and thank you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I'm good with that. I mean, even if he does hit, he's going to hit 250 with a slugging percentage of 250. I mean, it's, you know, he can't. He's just not good enough. Oh, looks like we're going to the 10th. All right, here we go, Astros fans.
Free baseball.
All right, time to tip a few caps.
Yeah, let's do it, Scott. Let's tip a cap.
I've got two, so I'm going to sandwich you here.
Okay.
My first one, real quick, Spencer Arrighetti has been one of the lone bright spots this year in the Astros rotation, and I think his last outing, he showed what it means to be a true professional. Playing in Cincinnati, the Astros offense sucking as it has for the last few weeks, and lazy fly ball to right field. Cam Smith according to his own words, was going to try to do one of those spinning throws to prevent the runner from first and going to second, and drops the baseball. And 2 unearned runs come home. So Arrigetti's asked about it after the game, and he basically said, that's on me. He says, people are going to make mistakes. It's my job to pick them up. As a teammate, it's my job to pick them up. It's their job to pick me up when I make mistakes. It's my job to pick them up when they make mistakes. I should have made better pitches after, that play, happened. You and I both know a former Astro. Wouldn't be saying this in English. He probably would be saying it in Spanish, but he would have gone full Leon in that moment. I need some help. I can't do this by myself. I need help. So
you can't expect me to fucking throw strikes and run out to right field to catch the ball.
So your 3 gopher balls that you gave up didn't play a role in your mind? And you don't see any of those outfielders catch.
I was mad about the error. That's why I gave up the homers. I was mad about the error.
So Spencer Arrighetti, for being a man, stepping up, and I don't know if you're actually thinking this, but it's nice that somebody involved in the Astros organization knows what you're supposed to say in these moments, because the manager and the general manager don't seem to have an idea of what you're supposed to say in these moments.
Someone needs to call Craig Biggio up and have him go through the list of cliches again with Dana Brown, because he's kind of going, it was out there in a tubular way, and he needs fucking Crash Davis to sit him down and go, I'm just doing what I can to help the team win, good Lord willing. There's a fucking cliche list, Dana. Stick to it.
It's out there, man.
It's out there in a tubular way.
It's out there.
That's like literally, it's like listening. Like anytime Dana gets the mic, it's like Duke Nukem. It's like Nukem before. I'm sorry, Nuke LaRouche before he got the cliche list from Crash Davis, right? Where he's just terrible. He's just absolutely terrible. And Crash Davis is like, here's a list of things that you could say. Don't fucking veer off this list. And Craig Biggio took that to heart for his entire career, right? Like I'll never forget. Yeah. He gets upended, knocked out for the season on a torn ACL, breaking up a double play. And he's like, I just commend him for playing the game the right way. He's just doing what he can to help his team win. I want you to be like, fuck that motherfucker. He copied. Nope. Craig Biggio is just like, hey man, he's just playing the game the right way. It's just the way the game goes. Just like, fuck, man. But yeah, I would like a little. I like the professionalism from Arrighetti, and we can tip his performance too, Scott. Like,
oh yeah,
he at this point he's one of 2 guys now who you can at least expect to give you a consistent start every 5 days.
That's right. All right, Tim, who you got?
Scott, I'm gonna tip the life of Rene Cardenas. Rene was the first ever full-time Spanish League broadcaster in Major League Baseball history. Started with the Dodgers in 1958 before joining the Astros. He's an Astros Hall of Famer, was voted in 2024, and he passed away this week. I think you and I both know what the Astros mean to the Spanish community in Houston, and I think Rene is a big reason why. I don't think across the country that Spanish-speaking Americans care about baseball the way they do in Houston, right? I think we are very, very fortunate that we had a Spanish broadcast that allowed people to be fans of this team, but also to assimilate into American culture and American society. Like we could all talk about the Astros, whether you listen to the game in English or you listen to the game in Spanish. You listened to the game last night. And, as a broadcaster myself, that is what we want to do. All we want to do is be there for the people who can't be there themselves, to help people feel like they're a part of something, to bring people together. And I think the career of Rene Cardenas did that. I think many, many new Houstonians were able to feel like they were a part of something because there was a Spanish baseball broadcast, this thing that everybody else was paying attention to they could very quickly learn and understand because of Renee. So to me, an old age, a life well lived, he's up there to me with Milo. The Astros are fortunate enough to have some serious broadcasting talent, and he's a legend.
No, when did he retire?
I'm not positive on that.
Because here's the thing. I know people, older baseball fans in Houston, who will swear by Gene Elston, who will say that Gene Elston, who is also in the Hall of Fame, by the way, was absolutely, the best broadcaster, in Astros history. I know people who will swear by Milo Hamilton. I think our current guy is a good one. Ford is a good one. Really
phenomenal.
I think he spanned the careers of all of them.
Oh, he was there a long time.
He was active through all, and that says a lot for, who you might have 3 Hall of Fame broadcasters all in a row in Houston.
62 through 2013.
So when did Ford come on?
He came on when we switched to the American League.
So he would have been there with Ford.
Yeah.
So he, if we have 3 Hall of Famers,
he was there at the beginning for the Astros in 62 with the Colt 45s.
Yeah. So if we have 3 Hall of Famers, he spanned the careers of all 3 Hall of Famers.
And again, that's a guy that's bigger than baseball. A new franchise. You were there from the beginning, bringing the game in Spanish. We've got a large Spanish-speaking community. People in San Antonio love the Astros. You're telling me there's a large part of that city that listen to him as well. It's his reach spanned through a lot of parts of Texas, and just proud to, as a fellow broadcaster, obviously not at his level, but proud to root for a team that had a guy like that, who had someone who, as you said, a 51-year baseball career is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. So to round out the tat tips, Janet and I saw a play on Wednesday, and it was kind of a weird night. The play usually starts at 7:30. At 7:35, they're letting people in the doors. At almost 8 o'clock, they came out and said, okay, we're going to do a read-through for actor safety. And if you want to get a refund, you can get a refund. If you want to get transfer your tickets to another night, you can do that. We end up staying and watching the play, and they came by, and we moved down, and they're just coming by. Hey, everybody, move down. You move down as far as you want to go. Keep moving. David Rainey was the star of the show. He was the lead. We don't know what exactly happened. We don't know when it happened, but clearly he had a leg injury that day, because he was he could not walk on it. He was getting help out. And, he was sitting for virtually the whole play. Midway through the first act, he actually admitted that he forgot a line and was asking for a cue card, asking for a cue, and apologized to the audience. But it's like, we don't care, because, we can see that you're gutting through it. And can you imagine this, Tim? His character did not survive the whole play. So they, one of the stagehands helped him off stage. He was not able to return for the bows. I mean, imagine, doing a performance and you can't be out there, to take your flowers. But he absolutely, and it was, minus the 1 or 2 missed lines, it was a great performance. And it's, there's some physical aspects to the play we missed, but there's a whole shit ton of good dialogue. And that was really what the play was, centered on. And so, and it's a play called Fences. It's Denzel Washington played the role in Cinema. For those of y'all that may have seen it, but it was a great show, and I got a hat tip that guy, because I don't know if I have like a torn ACL or something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna
I gotta ask though, what's the point of an understudy? What is the point of having an understudy if the moment rises where you need your understudy and he's like, I don't got it today?
Well, that's what I think it happened that day, Tim, because it might have happened like right before the show. And they're just like, our guy's not here. We're going to have to go on. And they may have delayed to like, hey, we'll give this guy a chance to come up to the theater. But we don't know the particulars, but I can't imagine teaching a class with a torn ACL that I had just like torn the previous period. I'd be like, no, I'm out.
Yeah. It's kind of a little funny background on the story is you had told me that you were going to see Misery.
Right. That's what we thought.
So then you tell me all this has happened. And I'm like, the main character's in the bed the whole time. Like, why couldn't he just lay there and do? And he's like, oh no, we didn't see Misery. It was something else. And so it made a little more sense. But I was like, I don't understand why he couldn't just lay in the bed and do his it actually works out perfect, Scott. It's the whole play is this guy had a car wreck and he's bedridden. Now he's actually bedridden. But no, it wasn't. It was a misquote on the play, and that's why it worked out that way.
All right, Tim. Is it time for our scumbags?
I think it is, Scott. Let's hit that intro for our scumbag of the week.
I am going to go with the Major League Baseball umpires. Certainly not all of them. There are some of them that are doing good work. But there are some of them that I think the worst I've seen this year, and it wasn't Buckner. I was surprised. It wasn't Buckner. One of the umpires missed 21 calls. Now, how many pitches do you think there are in a game, Tim?
Okay, 100 for each starter, say. It's 200, another like 300, like 280 to 300 total pitches.
And if you're missing upwards of 10%,
it's not great.
That's not great, right? And then you get the ones where they refuse to give them the replay. Nobody has really competently explained that rule about how much lead time do you need to give them in order to actually review a ball and a strike. And then there was the one where the replay clearly shows that they missed the call and they upheld the call anyway. I don't know. The sooner we get to the ABS system calling balls and strikes, the better off we are.
I'm with you. I am kind of over most of the ego, right? And I think CB Buckner is a great example. It's like as you continue to challenge his pitches and continue to prove him wrong, he gets worse. Like, these guys don't go, oh fuck, I missed a couple. Let me really zone it in. They're like, oh, you want to challenge me? Okay, watch this. We walk it off.
We walked it off.
Zach Cole, there you go.
Have yourself a day.
Hey, but I think Major League umpires are a problem. I think it's the strongest union in America by far. You never have any idea where they're disciplined. You mentioned if you did 10% of your job wrong on a nightly basis anywhere else in the world, like, I don't think you're keeping your job, right? You can't be like, well, I got 90% of it right. This isn't a test. Like, this isn't a science test, right? This is your job, and your job is to be as good as possible. So I do tend to agree with that. That's a good one. Scott, this is a tough week for scumbags. But I had one, and I'm just trying to get back to it. It's tough to get away from the NBA. It's tough to get away from the playoffs. But what I'm so overly frustrated with is the LeBron saga. Okay, I know I've already called him out for his genes, and this one isn't even on him. The Lakers were eliminated 2-3 days ago, right? It hasn't even been a full week. And I'm part of this too. I texted you about LeBron today. But where's LeBron going to play next? All over ESPN. Who's the best fits for LeBron? Will the Lakers bring LeBron back? you've got a pretty good playoffs going, right? Like, you've got a young Timberwolves team, you've got a young Pistons team. There's a lot of fun, Wemby's still in there, OKC still. There's a lot of talent left, and we're 2 days after eliminated. Where's LeBron going to play next? Is this it for LeBron? Will we see LeBron back in Cleveland? Is Cleveland really a good fit? Who should LeBron go to? Are the Warriors the best fit? Are we that desperate for clicks that you can't talk about the active playoffs that are going on? If you want to talk about LeBron, talk about the fact that he can't wear fucking proper golf attire. Bring that up, okay? How about that? Instead, we're wondering, will he go back to Cleveland for farewell? Will he play with Steph or for Steph to show that Team USA can win again? It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not taking him as a serious possibility for the Rockets. I mean,
he'd be
really,
a great fit.
I think the thing is that LeBron is in a position where he can play for anybody. He can play for any amount of money. He doesn't need the money. So it depends on what does he want, right?
Yep.
Does he want a ring chase? Does he want to go back home? Does he want to play with buddies? I don't know. And either any one of those, I mean, he's won rings, so it's not like he has to ring chase. Yeah, he can go home, but who knows how he feels about Cleveland. Everybody deserves a chance to have fun at work, and so if he wants to play with buddies, that's fine. But I'm with you.
I hope for our sake he does the Decision 2.0 again. I hope he sits down at a fucking YMCA again with a microphone for an hour, with the benefits go to the Boys and Girls Club, and at 7:59 he stands up and goes, "I'm going to Houston," or wherever it is. Right? I hope as a troll he does an hour-long LeBron the Decision again, because it would be fucking hilarious.
I mean, to me, what OKC is doing the last 2 years is just spectacular. And to me, I think the Spurs are the second best team in the NBA right now. And so I think...
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's going to be a great series. And to me, that's a series that we should be talking about.
I do want to say, though, because, again, I'm more saying ESPN's a scumbag because they didn't even mention the Rockets. But if you look at basketball similar to like the way you look at baseball, baseball's a game where it's just understood that the older generation passes the knowledge down to the next generation. Houston gives you that opportunity with as much youth that's on that roster. KD's not the guy who's taking people under his wing and saying, "Let me show you how to do this." LeBron kind of is that guy.
Well, that's
to me, like, imagine if you paired LeBron with Amen. And
that's where I asked the question. If you bring back Fred VanVleet and Steven Adams and you substitute LeBron for KD, are we better?
Yes. Yeah, because the younger guys are more bought in. I don't think I've ever seen a LeBron team where his teammates weren't bought in and they stood around ball watching.
Well, not only that, but he can score, but he doesn't have to score.
I think in a world like, let's say, not even swap out KD, keep KD. What if you didn't bring back Joe fucking Johnson for a wasted roster spot? What if you didn't have Jason Tate sitting there doing nothing? And one of those spots went to LeBron on a mid-level exception because, as you said, he can play for any amount of money and he just wants to have one good, right? Like, I could make an offer to him that says, "Hey, be my sixth man. Help these guys." Like, are you willing to do that? I don't know. But hey.
Yeah. All right. Is it time to move on to...
Yep, let me get our special comment up there to let people know this is the time that if you do not like us laughing at people who say stupid shit, now's the time to get out. If you do like it, hey, it's time to look at some of the dumb shit Republicans have said this week. Okay. Scott, do you have our winning quote for last week?
I do. We have two winning quotes. Remember, we have Trump and non-Trump. So which one do you want first?
Let's give me the non.
Okay, so non-Trump, we have the meme. May the 4th is also a celebration of President Trump. the kids today love the Star Wars because our president and Melania, much like the love of Luke and Leia and their ensign Christ at their side, bring law and order to our country, which can be spread through the galaxy. And of course, Jesus dressed in Star Trek garb is the perfect. And I love the love of Luke and Leia, who are brother and sister, and the Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
Okay, your Trump quote. Trump, no president has taken a cognitive test except me. I've taken 3 of them. One in the first administration. They're hard. The first question is easy. You have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and a squirrel. Which one is the squirrel? There's your Trump quote. Okay, you got to lay it on me now. Any order, surprise me.
Do you want Trump first or second?
Let's go with Trump second, because he's usually an idiot.
Okay. I have a collection of quotes, tweets, and also headlines from crazy right-wing media sources because I feel like a headline's kind of like a quote. This is a tweet from Pastor Mark Burns. Today at Trump National Doral, Miami, we witnessed an unforgettable moment with the dedication of the 22-foot statue honoring President Donald J. Trump. Let me be clear. This is not a golden calf. We worship the Lord Jesus Christ and him alone. And then someone else tweeted under it, saying this is not a golden calf as you put up a golden calf does not cancel that fact out. So yes, I love the idea that they put up a giant golden Trump statue, blessed it, and then said, this is not a golden calf.
Well, do we bless statues in the Catholic Church?
I don't think so. Like they'll bless your medallion for you and stuff like that, or they'll have like dedications. I don't think like blessing it like that.
I mean, they're not like throwing holy water on it or anything.
No, I don't think so. Like have you ever like been given a saint someone medallion?
Oh, sure.
They didn't put holy water on it when they bless it, right? Like it's just like, boom,
yeah,
the 1, 2, 3, little Zorro.
I do have holy water from the Vatican in one of those little scope bottles, those little travel scope bottles. So that's.
When do you feel the need to use that?
We haven't yet.
Will there be a moment where you're like,
we gotta do that. Yeah. We have it, have it nice stashed away, in our
saving it for the exorcism opera. The power of Christ compels thee.
Okay, so that's a good opening act there. Let me see what else you got.
White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers said Trump is laser focused on lowering costs for working families, deporting illegal criminals, keeping our cities safe, beautifying our nation's capital, and protecting our national security by ensuring Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon, all at the same time. This is a guy who can't stay awake for one fucking meeting. And you're going to tell me he's laser focused on all of these things at the same time? He can't sit through a 30-minute briefing without passing out and shitting himself, but he's laser focused on all of these things at once.
Because he's doing the Joe Espada at 3 a.m, coming up with his plans on, Truth Social.
Yeah, that has to be it. He also doesn't sleep. I mean, we know he doesn't sleep, which is also a sign of dementia, but that's neither here nor there. Here's one that's more depressing than anything. This is from Senator Marsha Blackburn after the state of Tennessee ripped away, disenfranchised thousands, if not millions of voters. This is how we cement President Trump's agenda and usher in America's golden age here in Tennessee.
Ugh. No.
I don't know what to comment on that other than all those people fucking suck.
Did you see the picture of the representative who was being, kicked out of office, trying to get in on the meeting, and the sergeant of arms going, nope?
Mm-hmm. It was.
That is a picture's worth 1,000 words right there.
Yeah, it's disgusting. This is a headline from something called PJ Media. And this is just a laughable headline, so I had to clip it. The Secretary of State is cool, and the mainstream media is having a meltdown over it. Do you think Marco Rubio's cool? Because I fucking missed that one.
He worked as a DJ for part of like some.
So did fucking Weird Al. Is he cool?
He's also quoting. He's constantly quoting rap lyrics.
There are plenty of nerdy white guys who quote rap lyrics, and most of the black guys that they hang around do not want them there.
But do you want your Secretary of State quoting Gangster Paradise?
He stands up at the microphone and goes, "That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Make money." He gets up there in the Iran meetings. He's like, "First off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. West Side, how we ride, come equipped with game. What do you have to say to that, Iran?"
Iran, we're going to be riding dirty.
They see me rolling, they hating, they hoping that they gonna catch me riding dirty. Do I have any questions? Anyone? Finally, this last one last headline. Biden FBI secretly set up Trump to be indicted after he leaves office. Arctic Frost memos suggest.
He wasn't indicted.
I don't think Biden set him up. I think Trump's a fucking pedophile and a cheat.
Well, he never, but he hasn't been indicted yet. So after, Biden left office.
Yep.
Is that the extent of your non-Trump?
That's my non-Trumps.
I think for the humor factor, I'm voting the Marco Rubio because just
mainstream media just can't get over the fact how fucking cool Marco Rubio is.
Mr. I gotta get my water. Oh.
Some would say the coolest Secretary of State we've ever fucking. He's literally sitting there. He's like, if peeing your pants is the coolest, then consider me Miles Davis.
All right, now you got to move on to Trump. I think I know some of these.
I don't have a ton of them. I'll be honest with you. The one that really got me was the new counterterrorism policy that Trump decided to stand up and speak about, where he said anyone who is anti-American, radically pro-gender, or anarchist, they're going to use rapid identification and neutralization of these groups using all tools constitutionally available. Then they cited the assassination of Charlie Kirk by left-wing groups. Number one, Charlie Kirk was killed by one of fucking Nick Fuentes' people, who's a right-wing fucking lunatic. And number two, like, Donald Trump basically just said, like, he's going to come and kill me. So that's one. And number two, you got to find that second one. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. President Trump says he still wants to travel to Fort Knox, peer inside its secure vaults, and verify the gold is still there because he said they steal a lot. Scott, who is they? He's the one in charge. He went there before. I don't know. And then I think finally, this is more of a situation than a quote specifically. But let's talk about Trump Mobile. Let's fucking talk about it. You make millions of dollars on a $100 pre-order phone for these gold phones. They're delayed twice. Then after they've been delayed twice, you go and edit the fucking website and post that you putting $100 down does not, in fact, mean that you're actually going to get a phone. It just meant that, like, you want one. You're showing me you want one. Then there's tons of negative reaction. Now there's somehow a mock-up of the phone that's going around that these are going to start showing up. Like, sure fucking thing. I'll be rating on that just like my tariff refund check. But it's just the absurdity of the whole thing, Scott. The idea that, of course, Trump would make a gold fucking phone. And of course, it's a scam. And of course, people are sitting here wondering, where's my gold phone? I don't understand. My dear Lord and Savior, Jesus, Trump would never lie to me. And then the fact that they're like, oh shit, we got to send these fucking phones and they're going to be they're going to be like Motorola flip phones with gold paint on them, Scott. It's going to be fucking bad, and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. I've got an extra one for you, Tim.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, reporter. To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal with Iran?
Yeah.
Trump. Not even a little bit. I don't think about Americans' financial situation.
I don't think about anybody. Talk about speaking the truth.
I think that's your winner. I forgot about that one. I mean, Trump Mobile's a great situation, but like he said the quiet part out loud. And like, let's be honest, God, he really doesn't care about anybody but himself. And he's made that very, very obvious. And he will let this war run on as long as he can. He doesn't care about the gas prices. He doesn't care about the additional costs that all these inflated gas prices trickle down onto food, onto travel, onto entertainment. He doesn't fucking care.
Well, what I love about it is that it's kind of like that whole, remember you tell him the photo was doctored and then he says he's a doctor.
Yeah.
And so it's like that where I could see in his mind that maybe somebody told him, hey, I know people are feeling pain, but it's more important that we get a good deal. I could see him spinning that, but instead of saying something like that, which is still awful, but is defensible, this is what he comes over with. I don't care about people. I don't care about people's financial situations.
I truly think that's the truth, though. He does not care about people's financial situations.
Oh, no, it is. Absolutely. And the whole, like, I'm doubling the size of the ballroom. Why?
Because I like to fucking dance. That's why. I can't be constrained. I gotta fucking get out there.
I said, and then the reporter, like, so the price doubled because it went from 400 million to $1 billion. It didn't double. I doubled the size. You're stupid. It's like, okay.
Have you ever tried to polka in an undersized ballroom, Scott? It's dangerous to everybody there. Okay. We have a line of succession. They're all in the room together. What happens if the polka gets out of control and people just start getting hurt? Okay. Then who's going to nuke the people?
I was doing, in high school, I did that dance. What do you call that dance where you kind of, hold your arms like this and you kind of kick in circles? I don't know what that dance is called, but
like the Russian dance?
Yeah, the Russian dance. I used to do that one pretty good. I could imagine if you put me in a small room kicking tables, chairs, who knows what happened, right?
I'm sure the Boot Scoot and Boogie is real big at the White House Correspondents' events. And again, you need a big dance floor for that, Scott. You can't fucking nitty gritty dirt band it the way that you want to in a good line dance. I look at that group of people and I think they love the line dance, and that's why they need a bigger ballroom.
Absolutely.
All right, Scott. I think that's going to be the end of it this week. Trump not caring about American financial situation is the winner there. It's on you next week to bring the quotes.
All right.
Well, I appreciate everybody who joined us this week. We will see you next week on Born in the Bayou Sports.